Constructivism? Constructivism is a learning theory that suggests that learning takes place through experiences. There are several foundational theorists who are behind Constructivism. John Dewey is often seen as the philosophical founder of Constructivism. Jerome Bruner and Jean Piaget are considered the major theorists among the cognitive constructivists, and Vygotsky is considered the major theorist among the social constructivists. John Dewey proposed that students engage in real-world practical workshops in which they would demonstrate their knowledge through creativity and collaboration. By doing this, students would have opportunities to think for themselves and articulate their thoughts. Piaget proposed that learning is a dynamic process comprising successive stages of adaptation to reality during which learners actively construct knowledge by creating and testing their own theories of the world. Although less contemporary and influential, it has inspired several important educational principles such as discovery learning, sensitivity to children's readiness, acceptance of individual differences, and learners don't have knowledge forced on them, they create it for themselves. Bruner initiated curriculum change based on the notion that learning is an active, social process in which students construct new ideas or concepts based on their current knowledge. He provides the following principles of constructivist learning. Instruction must be concerned with the experiences and contexts that make the student willing and able to learn. Instruction must be structured so that it can be easily grasped by the student, spiral or organization. Instruction should be designed to facilitate extrapolation and or fill in the gaps, going beyond the information given. Social constructivism was developed by Vygotsky. By the 1980s, the research of Dewey and Vygotsky had blended with Piaget's work in developmental psychology into the broad approach of constructivism. The basic tenet of constructivism is that students learn by doing rather than observing. Students bring prior knowledge into a learning situation in which they must critique and reevaluate their understanding of it. There are many differences between constructivism and traditional ideas about teaching and learning. In a traditional classroom, teachers instruct students in the course material. The teacher is the controller of learning environment. They are the instructor dictating, lecturing, and reading aloud curriculum content with specific outcomes. The teacher views learners as having knowledgeable holes that need to be filled with information. Curriculum is delivered in small, inconsistent parts and are not connected. Students memorize content to pass tests. Research has proven that students are incapable of clarifying how these parts relate to the whole. Teachers usually behave in a didactic approach, directly distributing information to students. Assessment of student learning is considered separate from teaching. Assessment occurs almost completely through testing. In a constructivist classroom, students are encouraged to be constructive and think for themselves. Curriculum is delivered whole to part. The teacher focuses on students' weaknesses which require more attention. Teachers usually play an interactive role with the students, for example, moving around the room and interacting with students. Assessment of student learning is intertwined with teaching. For example, the teacher observes students working in the classroom through student presentations, projects, and portfolios. The PAR model represents the belief that learning and teaching involves three phases: present, apply, and review. In the present phase of the model, the student is presented with new knowledge, concept, skills, theories, explanations, etc. Explanations are constructed by the student to persuasively link the material to prior learning and experience. The next phase, apply, involves the student carrying out an activity that requires them to apply the material presented, learning by doing. The last phase is the review phase. The key points are confirmed and emphasized with explanations that link the new learning with former learning. A topic that I could teach using a constructivist approach is estimation. Present, students will be given a store catalog. They will look through the catalog and find 3 items that they wish to purchase. The students will then be told that they receive $4.80 per week for an allowance. We will then discuss how they will have enough money to purchase the items that they want and how long it will take them to save up for it. Students will discuss in small groups how they will estimate how long it will take to save up their allowances. I will have my 3 items written on the board, and I will ask questions that will lead the students to solve this problem. Apply. Students already know how to estimate totals and will estimate how much their 3 items will cost. Students will then estimate how long it will take them to save for the items they chose. Review. When the students figure out their estimates, students will share their items, the estimated cost, and how long it will take them to save for the items with their small groups. Students will explain to each other how they found the estimated total.